Harper Via and HarperAudio present The Lack of Light, a novel of Georgia, by Nino Haratischwili. Translated from the German by Charlotte Collins and Ruth Martin. Performed by Jennifer Jill Araya. A note before we begin. Don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider. It contains a glossary from the book. Demain de l'Aube by Victor Hugo, translated by David Stanley Phillips, included by kind permission of the translator. English translation copyright 2025. Excerpt from In Sakartvelo, in Georgia, by Lado Asatiani, translated by Mary Childs, with Makkai, included by kind permission of the translators. Excerpt from Moscow Kitchens by Yuli Kim, included by kind permission of Yuli Kim. For Sandro, 1977 to 2014, and Lela, 1976 to 2015, The Lovers of Tbilisi, and for Tatuli, with whom I learned friendship. Part 1. Us. I've become so accustomed to death, I'm surprised that I'm still alive. I've become so accustomed to ghosts, I want to see their footprints in the snow. I've become so accustomed to sadness, all my poems are wet with tears. I've become so accustomed to night, I know that light will torture me. I've become so accustomed to death, I'm surprised that I'm still alive. Terenti Granelli. Tbilisi, 1987. The evening light was tangled in her hair. She was nearly there. At any moment, she would overcome this barrier too, would press her body against the railing with all her strength until, putting up only a feeble resistance to her weight, it succumbed with a soft groan. Yes, she would break down this barrier, not just for herself, but for the three of us as well, clearing the path to adventure for her inseparable companions. For a fraction of a second, I held my breath. Wide-eyed, we stared at our friend as she stood between two worlds. One of Dina's feet still lingered on the pavement of Engels Street, while the other was already projecting into the dark courtyard of the botanical garden. She hovered between the permitted and the forbidden, between the thrill of the unknown and the monotony of the familiar, between the walk home and the daring exploit. She, the boldest of us four, opened up for us a secret world to which only she could gain access, because railings and fences had no meaning for her. She, whose life would end in the last year of this leaden, sick, suffocating century, in a noose improvised with the rope of a gymnastics ring. That night, many unsuspecting years away from death, I was spellbound by an all-encompassing emotion I couldn't quite identify. Nowadays, I might describe it as exhilaration, a gift life gives us completely out of the blue, the tiny chink that opens up far too rarely in all the ugliness of the everyday, all the hard graft of life, leading you to suspect that, concealed behind all that is far too familiar, there is actually so much more if only one is prepared to let it in, to free oneself from constraints and predetermined patterns and take that crucial step. Because I sensed even then, without fully comprehending it, that this moment would engrave itself forever on my memory, and would, with time, become a symbol of what it meant to be happy. I could tell that this was a magical moment, not because something special was happening, but because we, the bond between us, constituted an indestructible force, a fellowship that, from now on, would never shrink from it.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?